As I mentioned in my
Meeting is being recorded.
as I mentioned in my announcement for this upcoming class, we're going to focus on the triangle pose today in all of its different variations. We're going to do it sitting, we're going to do it standing, we're going to come into reverse triangle. We're going to do a lot of opening movements for the side body because we forget when we breathe that we don't just breathe front to back or top to bottom, but we also breathe side to side. So I'm going to be working and diving deeper into the triangle pose and with modifications, of course. So let's begin our practice together. So I always like to make sure I have a yoga tie handy. I leave it hooked over the back of my chair, and that way I don't have to search for it. We may or may not be using it, but it's always a good idea to have it handy. So let's begin by doing our centering, finding a comfortable seat, allowing yourself to settle in, feet on the floor, back nice and straight, shoulders relaxed. Making sure there's a space between your back and the back of the chair. And we begin our centering by tuning into the breath. Eyes can be closed or open, whichever you prefer. Just taking these preliminary breaths just to see how the breath is this morning. Making friends with the breath. Becoming aware of any places that feel restricted or cut off from the breath. And to draw attention to the movement of the chest side to side as we breathe, let's just place hands on the side body, fingers fanned out along the ribs. And feel the hands move apart as you breathe in. And sink back closer in as you exhale. Hi, sweet pea. And once you've fully felt that, you can relax your hands back in your lap again. Maybe extending the exhale just a little bit longer. Still allowing the breath to be easy and natural. And if the mind is really busy, see if you can't just give it permission to rest as you breathe. Letting your shoulders slide down your back a little more with each exhale. Let's take 3 more breaths. Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the nose or the mouth. And at the end of that third exhale, just let go of any particular technique and just let your natural breath find you again. And we'll bring our centering to close by bringing hands to prayer position at heart center and joining our voices in the sound of Om. Deep breath in. Om. Om. Shanti. Peace. May we all know peace. Good. So opening your eyes, if they're closed, let's begin with some sun breaths. Breathing the arms up and exhale, bringing them down. Breathing up, you can look up as you breathe in and let your chin drop towards your chest as you breathe out. We're going to be expanding this movement in just a second. So let's add a cross of the arms as we go overhead and crossing again as you come forward. Remember, you can stay with just the sun breath if you like. I'm going to add a little forward fold here as I cross and exhale, and a little bit of a back reach as I breathe in. So the breath is expanding organically as I move. And this time when your arms come up, let yourself pause in mountain pose. Fingertips lifted, shoulders relaxed, feet firmly planted on the earth. Let's interlace fingers and press the palms up towards the ceiling as if we could press the ceiling away. And begin to just very gently move side to side. So as we are working into getting ready to do triangle pose, it's important with side bends to get the maximum benefit, to bend directly to the side, not to roll forward and not to roll back, because you want to put the stretch just between the ribs. So the next time you reach over, let's pause. Draw that top shoulder back. Breathe into the side body. Good. Breathe it up to center. Press the palms away to lengthen again, and then dive over to the left. Keep breathing. Inhale, come up. Reach up. And now I'm going to lower my right hand and begin to sweep my left. The other thing to mention about triangle pose with all of its variations is that it's one of those poses that's been identified as helping to work to prevent and to minimize osteoporosis. So for a lot of us out there, this is a concern. So this is a good posture to do every day in some form. Good. So let's reach over and hold. Good. Feel those muscles opening between the ribs. Let the breath be steady. Good. Inhale, exhale, lower the hand down. And now reach around behind you. Take a hold of your chair and inhale, pull your chest forward into seated cobra. Relax. And again, pull the chest forward. Squeeze those shoulder blades together behind your back and relax. Good. Let's lift up the right arm and begin to sweep it side to side. Trying to get as much motion, as much range of motion out of the shoulders as we can. Inhaling as the arm comes down and exhaling as you reach across. So this time when you reach across, let's pause. Again, so you want to move this top shoulder back so you're opening the front of the body. Good. Nice steady breath. Good. And let's inhale, bring that arm down and go into seated cobra again. So arms reach behind you. Breathe in, pull your chest forward. Look up, relax. And again, pull that chest forward, squeeze the shoulder blades, breathe in, and exhale, relax. Oh, that feels good. You can jiggle your shoulders a little bit. So let's go into our 6 movements of the spine, because those serve as a good warm up for these side bending poses. So beginning with the dog and the cat. So this is a little like cobra, maybe a little gentler. But we link the chest coming forward with the inhale breath and curling the spine towards the back of the chair with the exhale. Once more. Good. Bringing your spine back to neutral, but a nice tall sit. Let's move into our twist, starting with the right arm. Stretch it forward. Exhale, bring that palm to your left knee, left hand to the chair. And we always begin by lengthening on an inhale before we begin to twist. I'm going to deepen this twist a little bit by taking my left leg over my right. Always breathing steadily, comfortably. Good. One more breath here. Exhale completely, and then come around to the front, and we'll go to the other side. So the left arm reaches forward. Exhale, palm comes to the right knee, right hand to the chair. Nice lengthening on the inhale. Gentle twist on the exhale. I'm going to cross my right leg over my left. If you're crossing your legs, make sure that the foot that's on the floor is directly under the knee and not off to one side or the other. One more breath. And then the exhale begins the release. Around we come. Pause for a breath. So the last 2 movements are thread the needle. We'll start with the right side first. Sliding that arm along your left thigh. Remember, how far you go is a very individual thing. So always reading the sensations from your body. I'm going to slide my arm further through and add a forward bend. Always keeping the head and the neck relaxed. If you'd like, adding the arm sweep out to the side or even overhead. This really deepens the twist. And let the next breath be the signal to unwind. Before we go to the other side, a nice breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Good. So reach forward with that left arm, slide it along your right thigh. Remember, it might feel very different between the 2 sides, only going as far as is comfortable for you. Adding any variation you like. Let's inhale and release, coming up. And again, a nice deep breath in through the nose and a nice long exhale. Let's go for a walk. Oh, I got to be careful if I say that too loud because Miss Thing might hear me and think it's her cue. So you can add the arms here just like you're walking down the street. I like having my shoes and socks off. I can feel the ground under my feet. Good. So you can stay with that, or you can add the cross body elbow to knee. Here we go. So you're bringing the knee up to the elbow more than the other way around. Next time your right knee comes up, we'll pause, draw it up a little higher. This is a good place to use your yoga tie if you like, holding on behind. I'm just going to interlace my fingers below the knee. Relax those shoulders, please. Let's circle the ankle. And go the other way. So let's open the hips a little more. I'm going to place my right hand on my right knee, relax my left hand down, and open the knee out to the side. Inhale, guide it back. Exhale, open it out. Exhale, guide it back. Last time, out to the side and back to center. And this is going to take us right into the figure 4 stretch. So remembering your choices, crossing at the ankles, the knee, or letting that ankle rest on top of your left thigh, whichever feels best for you. So always begin by sitting up tall. Good. And if you want a deeper sensation, add that forward fold. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose or the mouth. How about one more breath? And let's inhale, come on up. And add a little twist to this. So I'm going to take my left hand, place it on my right knee, and just look over the shoulder. And always remember that you have total permission. You are encouraged to respect your body. And if I'm holding a pose too long, or if it's a pose you'd rather not do, this is your practice. So take the guidance from your body. Good, let's come on back. Uncross. Take a moment to just notice how that side feels. So let's work on the other side, going a little further with our walk. Pumping the arms. Let's get your heart rate up a little bit, get your breathing a little deeper. So we're going to start with the knees to the elbows. This is nice abdominal work. But remember, it is optional. And if you blow out the breath through the mouth, it's a little bit easier. And this time when the left knee comes up, we're going to invite it up a little higher, holding on with your yoga tie or with your hands below the knee, finding the breath. Let's rotate the ankle. Nice and slow. And the other way, please. And let's open the hips. So now it's the left hand on the left knee, out to the side, and breathe it back to center. Again, opening wide. and bringing it back. Last time, guide it out and guide it back. We transition right into the figure 4 stretch, choosing whatever variation is most accessible to you today. Good. Sitting up tall, relaxing the shoulders, adding the forward fold if you like. Good. And inhale, come on up. Uncross. And take a nice, delicious breath. Good. So let's work on seated triangle. To do that, I'm going to separate my feet nice and wide. Good. So reaching up with that right arm. Let's arch to the side. We're going to pulse in and out of this a little bit. So reaching across. So pay attention to what's happening in your right shoulder as you reach across. Are you leaning forward or back? Try to keep it as if your body was between two panes of glass. Couldn't move forward or back. So let's reach over. Good. Feel both sit bones on the chair. Take your left arm and bring it inside your left leg and gently press that hip open. Feel spaciousness in the right side body. One more breath. And exhale. Good. Release the pose. Take a minute just to breathe, and we'll go to the other side. So let's reach up with that left arm and pulse. Again, just observing the body, the way it bends to the side. Noticing your sit bones, keeping them squarely on the chair. So this time we'll move into the full pose, reaching across, arm comes down. If your arm has trouble with this movement, you can rest your palm on the top of your head and just draw your elbow back. So that's a nice alternative if you're working with some shoulder or arm issues. Breathing. Good. Inhale, bring yourself up. And heel toe your feet back together and take a breath. Ready to come up to standing? Let's do it. Oh, separating your feet nice and wide. Let's do some hip circles. So to do triangle, you really need to have some flexibility in the hips as well as the upper body. So let's go the other way. Make sure your knees are soft. Get a little fancy, do a figure 8. And go the other way. I'm going to move my chair back a little bit. And I'm going to just slide my left arm down my leg. So I'm still paying attention to the shoulder. The shoulder is back. It's not rolling forward. So only come down as far as you can. Keep your body between those two panes of glass. Good. Inhale up and exhale down the other side. And switch. And switch. We can let that opposite arm movement grow. So you can begin to bring that arm up and slide it down. Should feel really good here. A couple more times. And then bring it back to center. So we're going to do some sun breaths, and we're going to do the sweep that we were doing seated. So if this is a little bit too challenging for you today, you can always take a seat and repeat the breaths sitting down. So let's make sure our feet are about hip width apart, nice and fully grounded. And let's begin to breathe in, arms lift, exhale, arms lower. We're going to do the same sequence that we did, only standing. So adding the head looks up, if you like, and chin to the chest on the exhale. So let's add that cross of the arms. Make sure your knees stay nice and soft. Don't lock them. I'm going to begin to arch back, and I'm going to begin to bend at the knees as I sweep. Inhale and exhale. So we can jazz this up a little more by reaching to the side, one foot extending. So you can add this or not. If it feels good, do it. If it doesn't feel good, please don't do it. One more time, side to side. It's kind of dancey. I like it. Good. Feet together, arms come down. Place your hands back on your rib cage again. And notice if that part of the breath is expanding a little more fully just because of those stretches. Great. Okay, let's come to the side of our chair. I'm going to be standing by the left side of the chair. And inhaling, come on up on your toes. Exhale, drop your heels down. Inhale, up on the toes. Exhale, press those heels down. And one more time, inhale, up and down. So shifting the weight to the leg closest to the chair should be your right leg. Soften that knee, begin to pick up the left foot. So maybe it wants to come up a little bit, or maybe it wants to come up a little more. You can use your yoga tie behind the thigh if you like. Good. And breathe. If you want to play around with releasing the chair and you feel safe, that's perfectly fine. Good. So I'm going to bring this left foot down, but I'm going to take a nice wide stance. And again, I've mentioned this before, so I'm going to mention it again because it's important. People ask about, should my toes be pointing forward or should I allow them to turn a little bit out? Well, we're going to turn one foot out a lot, but for the meantime, for 5-pointed star, either one is fine. The important thing is to try both and notice which feels most supportive and most natural. Good. So reach out with that left arm. Reach out with the right if you do not need the chair. 5-pointed star, soft knees. And let's expand this a little bit so you can stay with this if you like, but I'm going to add a little squat. So exhaling as the arms reach overhead, inhaling as they return to shoulder. Once more, reach overhead. Good. And then out to the side. Now I think we're ready to take a look at triangle. So take your right foot, turn the toes towards the chair. Turn the toes of your left foot in slightly. Good. And let's begin to reach and pull back. So think about pane of glass, just a little side bend. You can release the chair like you're reaching for a plate of cookies on a table. Almost. And back. Reach a little further and then come back. And this time we'll move into the whole pose. Okay. Drawing that left hip back. Begin to rotate. You can release the chair and bring that right arm inside the right leg. Good. Reach for the sky. Press down through the right hand. Reach up with the left hand. Good. Let's release that now. So inhale, drop that left arm down. And if you like, do a little counter stretch here, a little back bend. Feels super good. And back to center. We're going to do the reverse triangle now. And I realize that this might be a bit challenging. So I'm going to review it. I want you to just watch and then decide if you'd like to try it, or you can just repeat the first version of the triangle. So again, just watch as I do this. I'm going to turn both feet so they're facing the chair. Good. I'm going to bend directly at the hips, bringing my torso towards the chair. Placing your hips on the chair. So this might be as far as you go. You're getting a little bit of a twist here. But if you want to advance it, leave one hand on the chair, begin to rotate your body towards the back, and add the arm if you like. Are we good? Let's try it together. So both feet are facing the seat of your chair. And remember, this is a bending from the hip crease pose. So draw in your breath and exhale. Can you bring your hands to the chair? If not, you can always keep one hand on the top, one hand on the seat. Soft knees, don't lock those knees. If that feels good, begin to rotate your torso towards the back. Add the arm if you like. Nice steady breath. Nice long exhale. Good. Inhaling again. Exhale, arm comes down. And up we go. Ooh, that was good. So let's do all of that on the other side. But in between sides, let's do a downward facing dog. How about that, sweet pea? You want to do a down dog? She says, no, I don't think so. So I'm going to come to the back of my chair. Just walk my feet away. Soften my knees. Let my chest and shoulders hang down. Belly is heavy. Head is relaxed. You can walk your heels up and down just to deepen the stretch a little bit. Good. And inhale, come on back up. And let's come on over to the other side. Okay. So we've already done some balance prep, so we don't have to repeat that again. But we're going to shift weight now to the left leg, the leg closest to the chair. Nice soft knee. And we begin by picking up at the foot, a little bit at a time. Relaxed shoulders, steady breath. Good. Let's get set up for 5-pointed star. So this right foot is going to come out to the side, soft knees. Right arm extends. Release the chair if you feel safe. And breathe. Imagine that one of your friends has a hold of your left hand, another one has a hold of your right hand, and they're doing tug of war. Just separating the shoulder blades. Good. And breath. Good. So you can either stay with this or you can add the arm raise and the squat. Nice and gentle. Don't have to go down too far, just nice and easy. One more time. So let's set up for triangle on this side. So I'm going to turn my left foot so the toes face the chair. Right foot turns in slightly. I turn that back foot in a little bit because what that does is it frees up this hip to move in the direction that you want it to, which is back, not rolling forward. Good. So you can hold on to the chair or not, and let's pulse in and out of this. Just reach for those cookies and bring it back. Reach a little further and bring it back. And one more time, reach, 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 reach. Keep that right hip moving back, top shoulder back. And begin to pivot. Again, the hand can be on the chair. It's perfectly fine. And stretch. And breathe. I'm going to stay here for a few more breaths. So if you need to release the pose sooner, please feel free to do that. And let's release. Inhale, arm comes down, other arm reaches across. Ooh, I feel myself getting taller. Maybe it's just my imagination. Good. So let's get ready for reverse triangle. Remember, this is optional. You can do some variation of it, or you can just repeat the first version of triangle. It's fine. Turning both feet so they're facing the chair. Nice soft knees here. And I'm going to begin to reach. Placing hands on the chair or one hand on the seat, one hand on the back. And begin to rotate. I'm going to release my arm up. This is an option. But what is never an option is a nice, steady breath. One more breath, please. And exhale, return. Bring yourself back up. So before we go back to our seat, let's do one more downward facing dog pose. So I'm going to stand at the side of my chair. You can stand to the back if you like. I'm going to place my hands on the seat of the chair because that gives me a little bit of a deeper stretch. And pedaling the heels. Just letting yourself feel good in your body. And let's return back. And take a seat. Nicely done, everybody. So just finishing up with a few side to side twists just to work out any remaining kinks. You can hold to one side for a couple of breaths. Feel the freedom in your breath because of opening the side body. I'm going to twist to the other side and hold briefly. Good, and bring it back to center. And now we get ready for our seated relaxation meditation, letting your hands rest comfortably in your lap, letting your eyes close, or looking softly at the floor. Notice if your breath feels easier and freer because of your practice. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth or the nose, whichever. With a sense of gratitude for the breath, the body, practice. Letting your attention rest on every part of the body in turn. Moving upward from the soles of your feet, through your legs, ankle, thigh, belly. Just allowing whatever is there just to be. I'm going to share with you a poem from James Baldwin that caught me the other day as I was thinking about the aftermath of the hurricane and the folks who are still digging out, feeling lost. The name of the poem is Nothing Personal. For nothing is fixed forever and forever and forever. It is not fixed. The earth is always shifting. The light is always changing. The sea does not cease to grind down rock. Generations do not cease to be born, and we are responsible to them because we are the only witnesses they have. The sea rises, the light fails. Lovers cling to each other and children cling to us. The moment we cease to hold each other, the moment we break faith with one another, the sea engulfs us and the light goes out. So taking a few more breaths. And then bringing your hand to heart center. Remembering that each of you has a gift to give in your world and in your life. Let's close our practice with the sound of Om. Deep breath in. Om. Om. Shanti. Peace. May we all know peace, and may we share that peace with everyone we meet today. Namaste. Jai Bhagwan.